But now it is, well, Selma's here. How are you? It's Taco Tuesday. How many tacos for today, Selma? Michael says, hey there, Yogi, do you have any? I have zero mushy peas and zero mashed potatoes. And that a picnic basket? My picnic basket is mush free. Michael says, hey there, Selma. Selma says, miss you too, Selma. It's nice outside here too. We're finally over the recent heat wave. 2 days ago, it was 90 degrees. Today it was 74. Hi, Cat. Someone's writing a new song. What do you want to be 24 for, Selma? Someone loves hamburgers. Vegan hamburgers. Lee says, good evening, Yogi Selma. Hey, Lee. Hi, Bud Files. Eric Verveen, my friend. How are you? It's so nice to see you. Guys, do you want to see the best pull-ups in the game? You want to see awesome burpees, but by far the single best pull-ups in the game by the French master himself, Eric Veron. Thank you so much for coming in. Guys, our friend Eric is an old friend of ours. I have followed him for quite a few years now. Kat says, hey, Lee. Lee says, good evening, Kat. How's your training going, my friend? I haven't seen anything new, which makes me think I'm probably just missing it. I will get on it. I just went and checked out one of your new videos. That way they'll be coming back up in my algorithms. Hey, Tita. Tita Beth, how are you, my friend? It's nice to see you. Hey, Daniel. Daniel says, hey, Kat and Lou. Kat says, okay, I'm listening with my eyes closed right now, but you're going to miss it. I'm going to do something spectacular with my face. Here it comes, Kat. Oop, you just missed it. Maybe it'll happen again. Nino says, hey, Kat. Nino, my friend, how are you? He says, hey, Daniel. Hey, Lee. Check out my friend Eric Varan up above. You're going to love his reps. He just says, hello to everyone. We get a beer. Is that a beer from Daniel? My dinner's been done. My big dinner is early. My dinner would be your breakfast, probably. I had my dinner at right about a little after 10 o'clock in the morning. There's a reason. It's best for your sleep to eat at least an hour. Half an hour is acceptable, an hour is good, 3 hours even better. Your sleep will improve drastically if you have that window, if you lengthen that window. For me, because I was suffering some issues, I lengthened it even further. I have my biggest meal early. Um, I fast for about 15 hours a day. I used to do 18 to 22, but I ran into some problems. Hey, Marlon, how are you, my friend? Anyway, my big meal for the day was the same thing I have, Nino. It's the same thing every single day. There might be some variety every once in a while if I feel like it. I just never really feel like it, to be honest with you. It's like I'm not trapped into doing it this way, but it's worked so well for me. Uh, some digestive issues have been so easily managed that I just haven't felt the need. If something came up, if someone said, hey, me take you out for something. If someone were to drive all the way up here from Tennessee, said, let me take you out for some vegan pancakes. if I were to, and I'm just using Tennessee, top of my head. I don't even know why I thought of Tennessee. If I were to show up in Tennessee and someone said, "Let me make you pancakes," with an old family recipe that dates back generation upon generation, I'd be like, "Sure, let's have some pancakes." Just throwing that out there. Anyway, uh, it's lentils, rice, brown rice, potatoes. Lately, it's been sweet potatoes, um, and a couple of bananas for dessert. Oh, served over a bed of steamed broccoli and kale. Crack the sky. Are you an actual member of the band? You happen to be from the Baltimore area, Baltimore, D.C. area? One plus one equals zero, plus zero equals a little figurey thing. Okay. RW, my friend, how are you? I am vegan. I've been vegan for 16 years, Nino. But I'm a whole foods plant-based vegan, meaning although I'm not opposed to, let's see, Toy Pups just called me Pookie Bear. I don't think she's calling me Pookie Bear. You know, whole food plant-based vegan means that I only eat plants. Now I could have, you know, I could have a vegan burger if I wanted. I could have vegan chips if I wanted, and I have in the past. But generally speaking, I don't. Toy Pups, how are you? Let's see. Toy Pups says Selma is my Pookie Bear. See that? I get my hopes up and they're dashed. I start thinking, finally, I'm someone's Pookie Bear. All I've ever wanted my entire life. It was this close. It's like I almost touched heaven, only to be dashed down to earth. Hi, Carl. Carl, I was just about to talk about you. I also want to talk about our friend Pinky. I cannot drop anyone's link myself. I wish I could. Uh-oh. Cat woke up to say, I have tried the Impossible Whopper. It's good. Maybe Adam likes to make pancakes. Or Michael. Michael lives in Tennessee. I bet you both would make me pancakes. I don't think they're the only ones that would make me pancakes. Toy Pop says, we're good. Thank you so much, Yogi. I'm glad you're good. Did I hear you say yesterday that you were under the weather a little bit? Guys, our friend Carl, so far he is sticking above 50. But can we keep pushing him? Go visit one of his shorts, his videos. He'll wish you a happy Tuesday. Carl is at 52. Hey, Toy Pup, so you subscribe to Carl? I know you were before, but this is his new channel. So it's always worth double checking. Someone says, I love calling Yogi Mr. Nosy Rosie. Nosy Rosie, Putty Cozy. Now you guys are just overdoing it a bit. If I can't be someone's Pookie Bear, I don't want to be someone's Mr. Nosy Rosie. Lucy says, love a toy pup, sister friend. Lucy says, cat. I'm sorry you're under the weather. What can we do to make you feel better? So, speaking of Lucy, Lucy is coming up and she is going to have a conversation with us tomorrow. Lucy has said to me that she is not afraid of going deep. She's not afraid of. So, Lucy, you'll be okay with questions, right? Not, I'll try to help steer the conversation. I know that you already know what to say, but you'll be okay with conversation with questions from the live stream, from the chat. I keep using the example of knowing who you are and then being told, nope, you're not. You're not allowed to be. You might think you know who you are, but you're wrong and you're not allowed to be that. And how devastating that must feel. I get a hint of it. My own childhood not being wasn't abusive or anything, but some issues. And but Lucy, it's a whole nother story. That's a pain that I could not fully understand myself. Carl says, Lucy, are you sub to me? So, guys, remember, this is a brand new channel. I don't even think it's a week old. So we're going to wait a little bit before we bring anyone up. So make sure that you check. Lucy says, yes, it will be personal, but it will be okay. Be okay for the most part. I think if it makes me uncomfortable, I will let you know. But I know I have to be strong and open. I just have to go through it. The fire, go through the fire, talking about it. Hey, Joe. Joe, how are you? Joe, how's your new schedule going? Lucy says, yes, I am, Carl. Only started Saturday, so it's a new channel. Selma's wishing everyone Merry Christmas. Skipping right over Halloween and Thanksgiving. Going great for the presents. Straight for the presents. RW says, hi to Joe. Hey, Joe, are you subscribed to our friend Carl? As well, our friend Pinky. Pinky, as many of you might know, is Red Nose 1978, before the names were changed back again. She's so close to getting 500 subs. And she sent me a message asking, how do I get to 500 subs? And it's just one sub at a time. I wish I could drop her link. It just leads you right back to my live stream, so I can't do that. Joe's getting used to his new schedule now. Someone says, I love Christmas. I'm glad. I'm glad you do. I'm not much of a Christmas person, but I love people who love Christmas. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're getting used to the schedule, Joe. Someone says, happy birthday, Yogi. Happy birthday, Selma. He says, me too, Selma, very much. Selma's hyper. It must be the tacos. Thank you, Joe. Hey, Carl, Joe just subscribed to you. We just want to keep making sure that he's over 50. He's at 54 right now. Thanks, guys. So that's 2 more. Carl says, thanks, Joe. If you can leave a comment, Carl will definitely get back to you. So today has been a pretty, some of you might be expecting Squirrel Sniper. He had a last minute opportunity to go to a concert with his son. That's something you really don't want to miss out on, those opportunities with family. So he asked me if I minded. Of course, I don't. But he'll be back tomorrow. So tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is Lucy in the afternoon, Sniper in the evening. Thursday, our friend Odom is going to come up. If you have any questions about figs, some of you do, I already know. As well, we're going to talk about recovery, not just recovery from addiction, but recovery from getting your heart broken. Odom's going through some stuff. I don't know how much he wants to share. I won't share much right now because it's not my story to share. But he's going through something. Something that I've been through a couple of times. Something you've been through maybe a couple times. I don't think there's anyone here who might not have gotten their heart broken. But guess what? Like anything else, we can recover. And there's easier ways of recovering, and there are ways that just continue the suffering for a long period of time. My recommendation, take the easier way. You will get all the insights on the easier. As long as you're truly healing, you will still get all the insights that you would get from suffering, minus the suffering. Take the easier way. Carl says, if you can, Lucy, leave a comment. Otherwise, it won't stick. Oh, and Thursday, Lucy's going to be pulling cards in the afternoon. And Friday, as I keep mentioning, my friend Randy Creel, the barefoot runner, master of the 100-miler, much, much better runner than I've ever been. I've had the pleasure of being races with him. I've had the pleasure of being beaten by him in races. He's going to talk about cancer. And cancer as the portal for healing, true healing. He's a good guy. Hey, Dino. How are you, my friend? Selma's trolling, Joe. In a good way. Adam, how's your car doing? Get some love from Toy Pups. DC says, "So I have. I'm keeping my heart protected." Thanks for the flowers. So basically, the plan is to do this. The plan is to just talk for an hour, call it a night, and then we start the big stuff. Friday on the 18th, my friend and best-selling author James Plath is going to come up and talk. We're going to talk about astonishment. There's a great line from the Persian poet Rumi: "Sell your cleverness for bewilderment." Another word for astonishment. Clever is always from the ego. Clever is always think, I'm going to come into a live stream and say something really funny. I'm going to call this bald guy bald. No one ever did that before. Man, he's going to be floored. How devastating is that bald guy going to be when I call him bald? Because he probably never even realized that he was bald. Can't wait to see his face. That's cleverness. Never works. You never feel good being clever, not truly good. You might feel smug, you might feel self-important, but you never feel truly, truly like you've done anything good, because it always comes from the ego. And the only purpose is to prop the ego up. It's self-perpetuating propness. Copyright that phrase. But astonishment, bewilderment, is when the ego drops away and you look at the sky and you go, wow. Using myself as an example, it would be, I don't know. I was gonna carry that metaphor of the baldness over, but I don't feel like it any longer. What I do feel like saying is how right Rumi is. Sell your cleverness, sell that little ego. I got to make my point so people know how important I am, for just being astonished by the beauty of the world. Because as I was talking about, too, person I love, no moment lasts forever. None. Cherish each and every single one. Seems like a tall order, doesn't it? And you'll forget. It's okay. You'll remember. The yogi is Mr. Sassy Pants. Hey, don't drag my sassy pants into this conversation. They've done nothing to deserve such treatment. I've reserved those sassy pants for special sassy occasions. If I'm invited to a sassy dinner, I might need them. If I'm going to a job at the sassy department store, I might need to wear my sassy pants to impress the boss. You never know when you're going to need sassy pants. For someone to take my sassy pants and drag them into a conversation is uncalled for, and I will not stand for it. I think I made my point. We'll be seeing no more comments like that in this live stream. Oh, Debbie's laughing with Soma. Wait a minute. Lee, my friend Lee, making fun of my sassy pants with Soma behind my back, laughing at it. Dina says, I never understood the issue with being bald, like calling someone bald when they clearly are, as a way to laugh at them. Isn't really that funny. Isn't funny. Any joke at someone's expense is never truly funny. Again, that you might laugh, but you never really feel good, especially if you took the time to consider the potential of hurt that might come into a comment. Wait a minute. Someone's back with the sassy pants after I banned that comment from ever being repeated here because of the sacredness of sassy pants everywhere. You all are saying stuff, but I know you each have a pair, and you probably have a special sassy dance that goes with it when you put them on. Hey, Joanna. Joanna, how are you, my friend? Adam says, fancy pants is much more kind, but still it's clever. It is. Clever, clever is not bad. Using it as, as an example. Hey, Mr. Pankaj. Did I get that right? 3 or 4 times. Support from Lucy. Thank you so much, my friend. Much, much appreciated. He just said the only time I laugh at someone bald is when it's like an uncle of mine that comments on my hair saying he used to have hair like that. And they say something like, your hair ran into my head. Then it's funny. Thing is, it's not that a bald joke can't be funny. It's just not very, for the most part, like you said, just coming in and saying bald, you're bald. It's not very original. Joanna says that she's okay. Do you have a good day? Mr. Nosy Rosie. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Sometimes my nose is nice and rosy. Pankaj. I think I'm saying that right now. But it's not like insulting them, just saying bald isn't funny. Right. I agree. It's just sort of obvious. He says, Joanna, me, and Mint working out how to get your number. Still in the thinking stages. Get some unicorn vibes. We miss you too, Selma. Hi, Anna. Anna, how are you today? Someone says, hi, Anna, my sugar muffin. So I get Mr. Sassy Pants and Nosy and Rosie Nosy, but I get no actual food products. Joanna says, Skid has my email. So email me and I'll email back. Yes, I love Gary Lawson. I love Gary Lawson and Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes. The last panel ever for Calvin and Hobbes is the saddest thing ever. Dina says, besides, there's no way to prove Yogi is unless we inspect him to make sure he has no hair follicles. For all we know, his hair is just really tiny, so calling Yogi bald may not be true. You should have seen me just a little while ago in my full ponytail glory. You would have loved it. Many have said it's the most glorious ponytail they've ever seen. Janice says, hi to Anna, percolated fish, Selma, anyone I've missed. JR, how you doing, my friend? We missed you. JR says, how you doing, Yogi? I'm doing good, my friend. How's your training going, and how do you feel? Are you fully recovered? Tina says, damn, I can't believe I missed that masterpiece. All I have to see is from my imagination. If you go to my early burpee videos, I grew a ponytail just to show the world that I could. Rumor has it that there was someone in Tennessee that was going to start a ponytail fan club just for my ponytail. Someone says hi to Joanna. So I hope your training is going well, JR. Anna says, I'm here now. Selma, Lucy Staffen. We love Cat. So you thought I was talking about Cat? If I'm recalling correctly, Cat she's been urging me to grow the ponytail back, if I'm remembering correctly. Adam says, well, all this talk of hair, I feel like I must be honest. I suspected that you were wearing a wig. And I think you're wearing one of those beards that tie back behind the ears, if I'm not mistaken. Lee says, me too, Adam. At least he's laughing. Joanna says, my hair is very long. It reaches past my waist. Wow. In my prime, in my hair prime, my hair was right about down to my elbows. And it was blonde. Someone says, Yogi looks like a girl wearing ponytail. I look like a Viking. Adam says, when I was learning figure drawing, we had this beautiful model who was going through something, and she wore a wig. He says, Joanna, you have over 2 foot of hair. Wow. It's a lot of hair. Joanna, what color is your hair? Hey, Becca Bill. I mean, on a serious note, really, I think about that girl in Adam's figure drawing class. Beautiful person. Harmana says, Towhead. Yep, that was me. Probably felt so vulnerable. For whatever reason, she lost her hair. Um, I really wish everyone knew absolutely how beautiful they were, exactly the way they are. Did Thomas Burton say that if we could all realize how beautiful we were, he supposed that the biggest problem would be that we'd fall to the ground worshiping ourselves, worshiping each other? There's absolutely no person That's not beautiful. I can say that sincerely and truthfully. Many of us, though, need to learn how to correctly see. We need to use vision and not eyesight. There's a big difference. Eyes can be instruments of vision, but without vision, we never truly see. We can identify, we can use our eyes to keep from stubbing our toes, but without vision, we never see the beauty of the world, the true beauty of the world of which we created. Hey, Randall, what's the word might do? Um, let's see. What were some of the words that we threw out here today that we were talking about? Talking an awful lot about spoons this morning. Joanna says my hair is light brown. It was white blonde when I was little, though. When I grew my hair out a few years ago, it was darker than the blonde it used to be. Dino needs to cut his hair. Mine currently to my elbow now. Just have my sister salad every morning to not get in the way. Gotcha. Dino, how are you feeling, my friend? Grok is an old term. It is grok. It's actually grok, right? Who first coined that term? Becca says true beauty comes from within. It certainly does. Rona says fresh off work, ready to sit back and rest. Well, good. Hey, Randall, thanks for coming back. Much appreciated. Soma's hair is growing slowly. Cook Pop sends some love. Dino says, a little under the weather. Sorry to hear that. Stranger in a strange land. Give me a second and let it come to me. My first thought was Huxley, but I know that's wrong. Stranger in a Strange Land. Is the author is eluding me? Give me about 10 minutes to see if it pops in my mind. Becca says she's a brunette, quickly turning white. I like gray hair. When women's hair turns gray, gives them the look of a sage, of a wild woman, someone who has fully dived into the essence, the marrow of life itself, and has come out the other end. Older, wiser, more loving, and incredibly beautiful. Leo, I was hoping you'd come in today. Leo says, much love, brother, because I want to know, what do you think of the supercharge routine? I was one of the first to give it a run through. I did it every day for like a month. And sometimes I would use it as a warm up and do a bigger routine. Some days it would be the only thing I did. It's a good routine. You look good doing it too. Becca Boo says, I'm letting it grow naturally. Thank you, Yogi. You're welcome, Becca. Yep, you're gonna have that look. Adam says, I really hope I haven't ignored anyone. I'm not wearing my glasses, so kind of he's a blind percolated fish. I'm just impressed that a percolated fish can read at all, Adam. Someone says, I love the stars of the sky. Me too, Selma. Joanna says, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. I believe that. I think so. Joanna says, yes, Lee, my eyes are blue green. I used to know someone with sky blue eyes, really stunning color. Hey, Brian. Brian, how are you? Someone says, I love mom. Anna says, hi to Carl. Carl says, who's Toy Pups? Toy Pups is an old friend of ours, Carl. She is a wonderful person, and she can really help uh, answer any YouTube question. I believe, Carl, I believe she's already subscribed to you. Carl says hi to Brian. Let me mention again, guys, if you think you're subscribed to Carl, please double check because he started this channel on Saturday. Many of us have been friends with Carl for a while, but that doesn't mean that you're subscribed to this channel. Brian says, I'm good, Eric. Thank you. Little wore out from 2 workouts. Percolated Fish says, Camille, stranger in a strange land. Camille. I don't think so. I was just talking about Camille. I was just talking about the myth of Sisyphus. Casey says, we love our toy pups, sister friend. We sure do. Someone says, Lucy, you make me smile. I'm sorry that Toy Pups is not feeling well. I cheated, guys. It would not have come to me. Heart Matters, I cheated. Robert Heinlein. Would you have gotten that, Adam? Heart Matters says, I've been thinking about consciousness, and I'm currently on the idea that it's always a spectrum. We increase our consciousness with learning and improving our senses with things like glasses. Interesting thought. I go a totally different direction. Carl says, I'm a stranger. Well, Carl, you're certainly not a stranger here. You are too loved and too appreciated to be a stranger. And you are deeply, deeply appreciated. Harmona says you had the H on your first guess. That's true. You a science fiction fan, Heart Matters? Brian says, going to be here in chat at 12 p.m. Isn't Lucy going to be on? Yes, she is. Definitely, Brian. You don't want to miss it. And Lucy says, and don't you forget it. She's the Mofo princess. Cheater, pumpkin eater. I don't believe cheaters deserve to be eating pumpkins. Pumpkins should be reserved for those who never cheat, especially pumpkin pie. Lucy says, yes, it will be on Yogi Eric's live tomorrow afternoon. It's Sniper in the evening. Camille? Yeah, Camille did write The Stranger. Percolated says, Carl, I don't think you're a stranger than most. Hell, I'm sure I'm stranger than anyone here. I don't know. Adam, you and I are going to have a strange off one day. Fiona says, everyone's a stranger until they become friends. When you think about it, this is true. I pretty much attempt to see everyone as a friend, whether they like it or not. Carmena says, other favorites are Young Miles, Mode Gaza, and Ender Shadows. Sci-fi is my number one favorite genre. Highly recommend reading Red Rising. You ever read any Piers Anthony? Percolated Fish says, you're so awesomely. PC says, so to Heart Matters. Hey, Heart Matters, are you subscribed to our friend Carl? Brian says, Eric is a good man. Eric is a good friend. Thank you. Brian, I hope to be. I hope to be a good friend to you. Percolated Fish says no, but to the Heinlein right, childhood's end. Hey, Heart Matters. Did Adam wants to know if Heinlein wrote Childhood's End? Favorite sci-fi film is The Fifth Element. I remember that. I'd like Blade Runner. I'd like Total Recall. Heart Matters says I haven't read Piers Anthony. Hey, do you consider Kurt Vonnegut science fiction? I met Kurt Vonnegut. Joma says Jesus died on the cross, but guess what? God gives us faith. He certainly does. Lucy says Eric is a great friend, like a brother to me. Like a slightly older brother. Just a little bit. Not much. Just a slightly older brother. I have seen the original Jurassic Park. That's the only one I've ever seen. It was good. Has anyone seen it recently? I wonder how it amazes me that was 20 years ago. I wonder how the special effects hold up. Arthur Clark. Thank you. He says you like sci-fi Joe? I thought about you the other day, Dino. I was filming a blue heron, looking in the eyes, and I could really see why birds are the descendants of dinosaurs. And I can't think of dinosaurs without thinking about my friend Dino. Percolated Fish says, I had a dog. He loved pumpkins, especially raw pumpkins. They're good for the digestive system. It was like Newton's favorite food. Oh, Logan's Run was really. I'm surprised you remember that, Becca. Oh, there was a remake. Oh, you'd like to see a remake. Logan's Run was really good. Of course, the greatest science fiction movie ever has to be Star Wars, right? Was it anything better than Star Wars? Man, I remember how huge that was. I think I saw it in the theater 3 or 4 times. Lucy says, Zap and Eric, since Kat didn't like me being called my YouTube mother, I had to go with that. I'd like the slightly older brother. Lucy says, have to call his sister. Tina says, I've been a dinosaur kid since the age of 3, hence the username. Also, the newer movies aren't as good as the original. Have you seen the newest one? Becca says, and I like Tron. The last one was good. Oh, thank you, Super Champ. Hey, Super Champ, you didn't come in just to remind me to take my pill, did you? Either way, I appreciate it. I might need to take a Advil or something. With a little bit of pain. Becca B says it was my granddad's favorite film. We watch it every Christmas. Tron? Adam says, man, y'all kicking out some epic movies. Actually, maybe Blade Runner is the maybe Mad Max. Is Mad Max science fiction? Fantasy. I'm sorry you got a headache, Becca. Hey, Dolly. Dolly says, Yogi, uh, evening, much love and respect for you and chat family. Much love and respect to you. Thanks for coming in, Dolly. Did I miss a comment by our friend Leo? I asked him about the burpee workout. Don't see a reply. Lee says, Brian, you're putting in some serious work. Yeah, he always does. Armatis says, other favorite are Young Miles, The Mote in God's Eye, and Ender's Shadow. I think I read that right. Armatis says, I'm a big archaeologist fan. Gonna catch up in just a minute. Super Champ is saying hi to everyone. Yeah, I did like Logan's Run. I actually might have seen that in the movie theater. So you writing a dinosaur story? Joanna says I like Victorian era films. Elephant Man was really well made, very atmospheric. David Lynch, who recently passed away. Um, that was one of his first major works. I believe he might have been awarded or nominated for an Academy Award. But the thing about David Lynch is a long-term practitioner of transcendental meditation. He said that was a secret to his success, and he dedicated his whole life. He has the Lynch Foundation, which gives scholarships for people to learn transcendental meditation, especially veterans suffering from PTSD. He's a good man, great artist. It's a good pick. It was a good film. That was sad. Reminded me of Victor Hugo's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Such a good man trapped within a body, greatly disfigured. Becca B says Mad Max is good. Did you see the original or the? I never saw the remake. I'm not sure. Every movie needs to be remade. I'm not sure Mad Max needed to be remade. I'm not sure Blade Runner needed. Even if it's good, does it need to be remade? Some movies maybe should. Maybe Jaws should be remade, just for the special effects. Becca says Dorian Gray is a good film, Joanna. Do you guys ever see the Benjamin Buttons with Brad Pitt? Tina says, I'd say my favorite is the original due to the story being really streamlined and well done with characters that you actually good, but the dinosaurs aren't over or underused, uh, used correctly and are used correctly. Got you. CPF says, sometimes I wonder what the future holds, and I'm afraid of not reaching my goals, but why should I worry about something so far away that doesn't yet exist? I mean, honestly, it's fascinating. You want a hint? Make the journey your goal. It's good to have that this is the outcome I want. But if the journey is your goal, you're never, ever, ever going to be disappointed. If you want a good dinosaur book, I highly recommend The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs by Stephen Brissot. Becca says, Zubby Dolly, US so shiny. She sure is, isn't she? And thank you for noticing, Becca. Peter says, oops. When I got to new movies, it was more of just making dinosaur fights and making Rexy look like an anti-hero, and every new big carnivore being a villain, when they're just being animals. Adam says, for your information, 4 ibuprofen is actually an anti-inflammatory. Or better put 800 to 1,000 for inflammatory. Issues what they described after surgery, but they are worth their crap. Yeah, I've been laying off of them. I don't like taking them on a regular basis, and I was because my jaw issue was really bothering me. So I'm going to take an extended break. I'd like to not do any ever again, but we'll see. Becca says I prefer the original Mad Max, but the one with Tom Brady. It's really good. Tom Brady's a good actor. Is it Tom Brady? Janet says I have to look for that Beckaboo. I haven't seen it. Adam says, "Hey, Dolly, you're awesome, lady. You awesome, lady. You." Well, Adam found a petrified baby bird and a petrified piece of palm tree. I had a small piece of the amber that I had in a pendant that had I forget what kind of bug held within it. I love amber, one of my favorite stones. So actually, it's not really a stone; it's a resin, I guess, right? Tina says I could ramble on about dinosaurs for hours. Whenever friends mention them, they know everything about dinosaurs. I question them, and they say, "Calm down, man. It's good to be passionate about something." Super Chance says, "Nature, you made it this far. Just take the next step, and the next one you have to further. You got this." Oh, Nature Guy, how are you, my friend? I didn't see you come in. I apologize. Sorry that you're going through a lot. Percolated Fish says, Beckaboo, like Charlton Heston as well. His face was made for suffering. Good old Chuck Heston. He was definitely in some epics. Which reminds me, Soylent Green is really good film. I love Charlton Heston. What about Planet of the Apes? They seem to. I saw one of the remakes of Planet of the Apes, the one with the short guy who was in the Funky Bunch. I can't remember. Oh, Marky Mark. I know that's not his real name. I can't think of his real name. He'll always be the Marky Mark guy. I was impressed with the special effects of the apes. Armada says, I think we underestimate animals. Having worked with many, I promise some are villainous, some heroic, some are lazy, some are curious, some are kind, etc. I just posted or reposted something on my Facebook page a long time ago. Given a choice, and this is just me, of course, but it seems like it would be better to be a bonobo than a chimpanzee. Feel free to disagree. Thoughts, opinions? Would you rather be a bonobo or a chimpanzee? Beckerman says, I think it's him. My mind is confused right now. You ever seen Westworld, the movie and the TV show? My brother and I were talking about seeing dead people just last night. Oh, Sixth Sense, right? Nichiga says, I always have, but I'm doing a lot now, more now, because I have nothing going on right now, and there's so many people in need in my community. Carl says I don't watch films. Hey, Carl, do you like to read? Hey, Kay. Kay comes in with a OJ Simpson comment joke. It was okay. Sorry. Why is that your favorite dinosaur, Tito? It's good to see you too, Nature. Oh, Tom Hardy. Got you. That's what I thought. Yeah, I saw The Sixth Sense in the theater. It was good. Janet says one film that always makes me cry is the original black and white film Brief Encounter. I like old films too. I don't remember that. In the blanket, lay on the sofa and watch in the dark. By the end, I'm crying. I still cry at It's a Wonderful Life. Toy Pup says hi to Nature Guy. Heart Matter says chimps have strongest claim to being the second smartest species behind humans. Their lifestyle is similar to humans' ancestors. Bonobos definitely are living a more peaceful existence. That's what I like about them. They're actually always slightly stoned. Sorry, guys, I'm a little scattered in my comments. Adam says, yes, amber can be pretty solidified and it smells wonderful. And I like the feel of it. Dino says, like the thought of a giant prehistoric lizard roaming and dominating the earth for years is super cool. How smart do you think they were, Dino? Nature says, it's hard not being able to work when I've always been the breadwinner, but God has a plan. Super Champ says, Dean, it is very cool. Yeah, I hope you feel better tomorrow, Toy Pups. Have you been sick since you've gotten back? Janet says, will you hiking, Lee? I'll hide your snacks. Did you guys say slow toy pups? How are you, my bestie? He says, on the cliffs, saying that I'm already wimping out. Weather? Yes, I'll blame the weather. You'll feel better when it's done. You'll feel better when you get there. But you can't forget other prehistoric life, such as the uh, Cenozoic creatures. Super Champ wants me to pronounce that again. Super Champ is asking what that is. Joanna says snacks are nice on the sofa in front of the fire when it's cold. How is the weather for you guys? Toy Pup says I have worse headache and feeling very fatigued. Just yucky. Sorry, Toy Pups. Becca sends some love. Someone says hi to Nature Boy. Dina says how smart they are is tricky. It's relative to the brain and body. Sorry, guys. Like a small creature like Trudon was smarter than a Trex, besides Trex having a larger brain than the Trudon. Interesting. Hey, Sniper. Sniper says to Dino, have you ever heard of the term vapor canopy? Someone says hi to Sniper. Harmonious chimps hunt packs with complex communication and strategy plan, and execute wars against neighboring chimps. Craft and use tools, invest large amounts of time in teaching the next generation. And bonobos just sit around, smiling. Is it any wonder that they're my spirit guides? Joanna says it's a lot cooler now, Yogi. Raining a bit more. I love autumn, winter time, though. I don't mind autumn. I'm not crazy about winter. I've embraced it more than I have in the past. Sniper says, and the T Rex couldn't scratch his balls. Well, wait a minute, Sniper. That might not be true. You don't know where they were actually located. A benevolent god would have placed them in the center of the chest. So you can. That's my imitation of a T Rex scratching certain areas of his body. Never ask me to do that again, by the way. Is this pulling the paleontologist leg? Super artist says can't scratch his balls. Hey, Abigail is crazy. Abigail says, "Are you here, Sebastian?" Sniper says, "Eric scientists found they scratch each other." Ah, cooperation. It is survival of the kindest. Do you know? Darwin actually never said survival of the fittest. It's really more about cooperation. Fitness being a means of cooperation. We think of evolution as this, um, battle for survival, dog eat dog, literally, right? But those who learned cooperation, it was Margaret Mead, I think, when she was asked what discovery, uh, what was the thing when of all the discoveries that made humans human to her? When did you know? What finding where you saw that they were becoming humans? And he expected to hear something like, domesticating fire, animals, things along those lines. This is when we made that step into human beings. And she said, this was on Stephen Colbert. It was, I believe it was on Stephen Colbert. Finding fossils, a body of a man with a uh, broken hip that predated his death. And she was asked, well, why is that such a remarkable thing? And she said, because previous time he would have died. No one would have stayed and mended and took care of him. That when you couldn't keep up with the pack, you were left behind. But this was a sign of the capacity for empathy and compassion. That's when we became human. Matter says modern revolution theory has rejected survival of the fittest as many species grow less efficient or fit. Evolution is driven by reproduction. Michael says perhaps they scratched their nards up against a tree like a weirdo tree hugger. Hey, I really take offense at you calling me a weirdo. Adam says, I always found that slightly sewn people are the best co-workers. Joanna says, I'm still doing the Skipley, getting there slowly but steadily. Michael says, I didn't want to say tree hug yogi, just to clarify. Gotcha, Michael. I'm not going to go down that road. Adam says, my strict Christian background would tell me that dinosaur bones were put there to confuse humans. By who? Maybe by the dinosaurs. Michael says the word I wanted to say rhymes with jumper. Jumper. Gotcha. I think he could have gotten away with that. Hey, Driven, how are you? Driven says, "What's poppin'? Not much, my friend. Nice to see you. I'm gonna shut things down in just a bit. I made my hour and 5 minutes. Yeah, this afternoon was actually longer, about an hour and a half. Tina says that's one of the most confusing things. You're telling me some people dug up the ground, put bones down, just to dig them up again. What would be the point? Adam says, which statements like that, and why there's not a piano in Church of Christ. It was really easy for me to be an atheist as a youth yogi. Gotcha. That could be Super Champ. Carmena says, much love, off to Chess Club. Have a good game. Or games. Driven says, when are you going live again? I will be live tomorrow at 5 a.m. And then 1 p.m., 5 a.m., just a low key, short talk, half an hour or so. 1 p.m., I will be live with Lucy Warren, and we're going to dive in and explore the becomingness of Lucy Warren. I think you guys are going to be impressed. Carl says 5 a.m., Yogi. Yep. Thanks, Carl. Hey, Driven to be adorable. Are you friends with our friend Carl? We're trying to help him get to live stream by Thursday. Carl is at 54. Lucy says, dive into my life and the challenges I've had to overcome. He's right up above Carl Shield. Wish I knew if I was pronouncing that right. He's just a few above you, Driven. That's the problem that Carlos having. He's at 54, but he still can't stream. Do you know why you can't stream? Hey, Sue. Sue, how are you? Carl gives us a wave. Driven. He's right down below there. Right, if you go down to the end of the chat, you'll see him. Sue says hi to Carl. Michael says all you need is 50 to be able to live stream, Yogi. I know, but Carl hasn't been holding steady at 50. He gets over 50, and then it drops. We want to make sure that he stays. Also, both Carl and Driven say that they can't stream yet. Adam says chickens can see ultraviolet light and all the colors. I didn't know that. Maybe I did know that. Driven says, I want to co-stream with you one day. How old are you, Driven? Carl, do you know how many shorts that you're supposed to have? Hey, Adam. Adam, how are you? How's the training going? I'm censoring all vegan non-friendly comments. Not really. Michael says, I see, Carl. Driven says, almost 12. Got to be 18 to co-stream. Got to be 18 to come up on the stream. Sorry, my friend. He just says, seriously, Sniper, why I get scam? Jody quote says, and that's why I'm so crazy. Oh, I think you're probably naturally crazy. That's a good thing. Super Champion says, so, sorry, you get slipped. That's okay. I was just joking. I really don't mind those comments at all. Super Champ says, wait, how old is Driven? Said almost 12. Nino is back. Welcome back, Nino. Joanna says, going to say goodnight to everyone. Hope you have sweet dreams and a beautiful day tomorrow. Thank you so much, Joanna. Hey, Joanna, I hope you pop in to listen to Lucy in the afternoon and Sniper in the evening. Sniper's going to give a presentation on the art and the history of dowsing. Adam says, great, good, great. Doing Find a Nemo challenge, light. Only do 250 burpees a session. Are you doing it every day, Adam? Driven says, we will follow the rules. I appreciate that, Driven. You're a good guy. Much appreciated. Driven says, good night, people. Whoever's going to sleep, appreciate that too. I'm going to sleep. We'll stay live for about 5 more minutes. Driven says, okay. Or okay, 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 okay. Michael says, Yogi is used to those comments from me and LP. Absolutely. Who's Joanna? Joanna is, she's right up above. She is a friend of ours. She's a relatively new friend, but she fits right in. She's a beautiful, beautiful person. She is in Britain, I believe. Driven says, wait, you're not going to sing Hammer Time, are you? No, that was Stop. Adam says, no, just on cardio days. It's going to take me a long time to finish it. How many total reps are you supposed to get in order to find Nemo? Driven says, is that why I kept getting banned? I keep streaming? No, I think you're allowed to stream on your own. I think. It's just here. With me, you got to be 18. Hey, Richard. Richard says, good evening, Yogi. Good evening, my friend. Mitch says, hi, sweating. Says, hi to Driven. Sniper. Driven says, oh, makes sense. Oh, you definitely fit in, Carl. For one, I always appreciate being to help a friend. And just appreciate you being here. I like your presence. Chip Champ says, Ian, I don't think it's very smart to reveal that on the internet. Yep, you're probably right. 10,000 reps total. I would have liked to try that back in the day, meaning the burpee day. Driven says, hey, Jamie. So I can stream on my own, not co-stream. Got it. Thank you, Yogi. Now, I don't know that for certain. I don't know all the rules. Jamie, how you doing? Jamie, are you still doing TikTok? And how's that going for you? Super Champ says 10,000 burpees. How are you alive? Our friend Leo did it, I believe, in less than a month. Adam says, Carl, everyone likes you here. And then went out puzzle pieces. Oops. And then went out puzzle pieces. I was not created to fit in. Me either. Obviously. Driven's got to look him up. Zipper says, Carl, sometimes I feel that, but it also means I'm an individual, not a copy. Jamie says, I'm doing okay. Thanks. How are you? I'm doing good, Jamie. Jamie says hi to Mint. Tina says, like I said, it means so much to me. I even get a box to store them in from Bulletproof Glass. Where do you get Bulletproof Glass? Carl says, YouTube age is 16 to stream. Gotcha. So, Driven, did you hear that? Carl says the age is 16. So, Ennis Fallon says, it's funny that I now think 10,000 is wonderful. It is funny in a sick kind of way. Driven says, okay, I have to be 16 to stream on my own. Sanford says, Carl, but here we say 18. That's a good natured person, Driven. Dino says, oh, I don't worry where I got the glass. Just know, oh, don't worry where I got the glass. Just know I got it. Gotcha. Carl says, my channel will be 21, Squirrel. Sanford says, Carl, great idea. My day was pretty good, man. We're going to wrap things up in just a minute. I'm getting sleepy. Been a bit of a sleep deficit for a while. So, Jamie, did you say I'm looking for if you answered that? Are you still on TikTok? Tina says, with respect to the channel, I won't say where I got it. Gotcha. I can understand that. It says, how's everyone been doing today? Jamie said, sometimes. Gotcha. Lucy says, how to mint. Carl did sleep last night. I didn't sleep very well last night. Which is why I'm going to end the stream in just a minute now. Guys, one more time. Hey, Jamie, are you subscribed to Carl? You might have been subscribed to him before, but this is a new channel, so it always helps to double check. It says they only slept for 3 hours. Well, not enough. I average about 5. A really, really good night, I might get 5.5. I might get 6. Jim says, return my mom's boyfriend 3 $20 bills that were in the washer to him. That was nice of you. You don't still? I wouldn't think so. Seemed like a really nice person. You give a quick refresh over on Carl's channel. Yes, Carl is at 55. Never sleep in hotels. Yeah, I'd never sleep my best in a hotel. Tina says, also, Yogi, sorry about last stream where it's bombarding you with questions. I got a bit emotional. That's okay. Jim says, I mean, dry up. Gotcha. Mint says he prefers to camp. Jim says, now 56. Adam says, bye, Gianna, you too. Jim says, I slept in hotels before, went on the road. Yeah, me too. It's never the best sleep, though. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Starting to yawn. It's getting harder to cover it up. Physically, I didn't feel great today. Hopefully, tomorrow will be better. Driven says the seat better on hard surfaces. Me too. Oh, Dino says, yeah, it's just the thing you said about the heart hit really deep. It was a good conversation. I enjoyed our talk. I have a Twitch account. I don't actually know what Twitch is. Hi, Corey. It says, take care, everyone. Have a blessed night. Much love to all. So, as I wrap things up, Driven says, Wildcraft Lover 100. All right, my next step would be to find out what Twitch actually is. CP Champ says, good night, Yogi. Good night. I'll do a stream there. Gotcha. Cora says, love you, Yog. Love you too, Cora. Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Let's see. NSR85 says, don't wrap up. We're just getting started. Man, not me. I'm winding down. Of course, says, I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Driven says, bye, Yogi. Bye, my friend. Sleep well. I appreciate that. Closing comments. Of course, I'll be live at 5, regular, talking Course of Miracles, stuff like that. And then 1 o'clock, Lucy Warren is going to come up. We're going to talk Lucy's journey. Ask some questions, but most of all, I think you're probably going to learn a lot. Perseverance, staying true to yourself, not caving into what people tell you you should be when you know who you are. And at 5:05, so around this time tomorrow night, Squirrel Sniper is giving a presentation on dowsing. Friday, the next day, my friend, an ultra running legend, who turned to ultra running and a vegan diet, barefoot running, to cure himself from cancer. He used it as his spiritual path. Of course, says, have a good evening, Yogi. You too. Thank you, Cora. Thanks for coming in. So, love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I hope.